What's going on, everybody? So today I've got another little rolly ball video to share with you guys today, and we're gonna roll out the quads today. So what you'll need for this one are a pair of therapy balls in little the yoga tune-up balls or something comparable. You can also use a couple of tennis balls in a sock with a clothespin or one of the butterfly clips to secure them so they don't roll away. But either way, you just want to kind of keep them so they are, they're secured so they don't split and roll away. So we're going to start on our stomachs, and the therapy balls are going to come parallel to your thigh, maybe an inch or two above the knee, so the very bottom part of your quad. And you can either stay kind of in the supported sphinx if this little back bend is okay for you, or you can rest your forehead on your wrists. You can also play with either one, depending on what feels best for you. But once you get situated, you're just going to let that first leg relax, that first hip relax. Maybe even feel the glutes relax a little bit. And as always, breathe. And then if you're feeling comfortable here, we'll go ahead and start with some contract and relax. So we'll inhale, tighten up that leg, that hip, that glute, and exhale, relax. Do that about 4 more times. You may even, as you tense and release the leg, you may even feel the toes, the foot leave the ground. And after that last one, just let that leg relax. And then I'm just going to move the leg out and in, side to side. So moving the leg across the therapy balls here. You can feel those therapy balls articulate between each of the quadricep muscles. I'll go back and forth about 5 times. I always think of my leg as a rudder, or even a little bit like a weather vane, going back and forth here. And then we'll pause in the center, and then flex and extend that knee. Again, 5 or so times. And I like to, with the breath here, I like to exhale as I flex, inhale as I extend. And the other thing, as you do this knee flexion and extension, if your knee doesn't feel like it wants to flex all the way, like if you're here and you're starting to struggle, that's okay. Just go ahead and let that leg relax. You don't want to, because since your hips are a little bit cattywampus, you don't want to force that knee into flexion that could cause some kind of disruption higher up the chain. But then after that, the 5th or 6th flexion of the knee, we're going to go ahead and reach down and turn the balls so they are perpendicular to the thigh, so crosswise. So, and they're going to be right around in the middle of your quads. So you turn it on the same plane as the therapy ball that was closest to your hip. And again, we're just gonna pause and breathe here. Maybe feel the difference in pressure. And then maybe rock that leg back and forth by, I like to move my heel. I don't know if you can really see it on the video. We're just gonna let that heel go back and forth maybe about 5 or 6 times. And then the last thing we'll do here, we're gonna strip the quads here. And in some videos you may have seen, the person is gonna kind of be up on the forearms and really driving the motion with the forearms and with that other leg. I kind of like to keep everything a little bit more relaxed, so it brings it's a little bit less tension in the body. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kind of to help this motion, I'm gonna put this hand on the hip and just sort of lift and lower my hip, almost like you're hiking your hip up, or you're doing a side bend with the hip here. So this motion that's bringing the therapy balls across the quad is coming totally from the hip. And as you do this, see if you can keep that leg totally relaxed. You feel the toes starting to want to tense up. That's kind of relax the motion. Take a breath and then reinitiate the motion. We'll do that a couple more times. Maybe pause in a spicy spot or tasty spot or sweet spot, depending on your palate. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. And then we'll take the therapy balls away. And just take a second with no therapy balls. You can rest the head or kind of maybe be in a supported sphinx. I prefer to rest the head, again, no tension or as little tension in the body as possible so you can really feel between the sides. And then we'll do the other side. We'll even ourselves out. So again, those therapy balls starting parallel to the quad, a little bit above the knee. And letting that leg relax, taking a few nice breaths here. And then some contraction and relaxing. So tensing up that leg on an inhale, letting it relax on the exhale. Maybe 5 times altogether. And then with the leg relaxed, start moving it back and forth. Nice and easy. About 5 times. And then flexing and extending the knee. Again, with the breath pattern, I like to exhale as I flex, inhale as I extend. And again, as on the first side, if you kind of get halfway up and you're really struggling to bend that knee all the way, just let it relax and just kind of let it go halfway. And odds are, as you practice this a couple times, 3-4 times a week, you may actually eventually begin to get that full flexion if you're having trouble getting that full flexion, 90 degree flexion after the first, at first. Then we'll pause after we've bent and extended the knee. Just letting everything relax. And then we'll turn the balls perpendicular, so crossways to the thigh. Again, about halfway up this time, halfway up the thigh. Take a couple breaths, letting that leg relax. Little bit different position, a little bit different pressure. And then letting that heel move out and in. Again, with the leg relaxed, initiating that stripping motion from the hip. So it's kind of up and down. So elevating the hip and depressing the hip. Think about it as like you're elevating and depressing your shoulder. Finding a tasty spot for you here, letting that leg relax again, taking a couple of nice deep breaths. My big toes cramping a little bit. Reach down, take the therapy balls away. And you can just kind of rest forehead on your wrist to your hands. You feel into each side. And that is that. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. If you found this helpful, I encourage you to like, subscribe if you're not already, comments. But the coolest thing you can do if you don't want to do either of those first three things, if you know anybody who you think might benefit from this or any other videos, is to share this video with them. Might bring somebody some relief. I also teach a class focused on this Sundays at noon. I'll put the link in the description below. It's an in-person class if you're in the St. Louis area. If you can't make it at that time, there is a recording. You sign up for the online. Everybody, regardless if you show up in studio or online, gets a link to the recording that's good for a week. And in the meantime, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you all have a fabulous day wherever you are. And I look forward to sharing some more good stuff with you guys very soon.